you to WOW Summit?
What brings me to WOW Summit?
Yes,
Guy brought me to go WOW
Not
Summit.
who, what?
What brings me? I mean, I'm in the blockchain space, serial entrepreneur, best-selling author. I've been coming in and out of Dubai for 25, 30 years. Last 7 years, I've been in the blockchain space, and of course, in the various chat groups that are relevant. Try not to stay in all of them. One of them is with Guy, and I've met him. We nearly did an event together as well earlier this year. So, you know, when he said he was going to put this together, I said, not a problem, I'll help you, support you, I'll come and speak at the event. If you need any of my help, not a problem.
What exactly are you doing in the blockchain sphere?
I've done all sorts of things. I've done 2 exchanges. I was one of the first guys who we put a futures and options platform together 3 odd years ago. I've done a couple of exchanges since then, wallets, a couple of fintech products, been advisor to 5. I don't like to be an advisor to many companies. I only do 5 maximum, and that's it. Lots of people try and put your pictures in everywhere. I speak around the world, literally more than 100 flights just before pandemic in 6-7 months. So you can imagine it's all over the place. My voice is going, so that gives you a view from the last 3 weeks what it's been like. So, you know, Guy, when he told me, you know, what he's doing, of course he knows what I do because, you know, it's all over Google really. So my next challenge is I'm putting an eco-based wealth tech fund based from here. So various verticals that are to do with anything to do with ecos in the fintech, edutech, agrotech, solar, hydrogen, things like that. And a few other nano quantum types of computing, anything that cuts as much of the footprint of carbon. We also got Save the Planet, a partnership going on with carbon credits. So anything that cuts the middleman and brings productivity, efficiency, costs down and all that, then those are the things we're going to invest in and creating a whole big ecosystem around it.
Is this your project be connected with blockchain anyhow?
The whole thing is blockchain. We have our own blockchain. I mean, we created our own blockchain on this.
Like how you are going to reduce carbon
credits.
credits?
So the carbon thing is very much into, so we will have our own place where we do our solar, hydrogen, hydro types of power generations, but more to the point in partnership with Save the Planet, where they grow trees around the world and sell you carbon credits. So where we find some mining farms are burning more, we do that. But our technology is based on things that does not need so much power, unfortunately, like what the classic Bitcoin types of mining takes, which is not good for the planet, obviously. So we are doing technologies that brings all of that down where it doesn't need so much footprint in terms of mining capacity and electricity capacity. But we will develop on not only the blockchain side, but also the power generation and the power and carbon credit side of it for the whole of the ecosystem. Make sense?
Yes, 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 I understand. I understand. I want to ask for how long you are already in blockchain sphere, because you are so experienced, as I heard.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I have my view, when did blockchain start? I think it started well before, I know it started well before Bitcoin. Bitcoin actually made it into mainstream, but you know, blockchain in simple terms, what it means was happening in the 90s when we started doing decentralized hosted services. You know, I was at Sun Microsystems. We had data centers all around the world. And at all times, they were in sync with the other data centers. So your data needs to be synchronized. Your encryption has to be, so no one can hack between the two data centers. You have keys at both ends. So a lot of the basics of blockchain happened there from the infrastructure side. So what Bitcoin actually did was bring that into a ledger in a transparent, decentralized manner, where now you can transact it by using some form of any of currency, really, digital asset. So now it's taken it to that level. So like, this is the fuel I call for internet. So like how people just accept internet, I think in the next 10 years, people just accept digital assets as What's the big deal about this?
Yeah, this was my question. What is the next level now?
Yeah, so the next level where I see it's happening is, and unfortunately people have lost faith with governments. That's why you see some of the governments being challenged in not only their policies, but also their taxation and all these things, that now the average citizen is saying, hang on, we have a voice. We've chosen to put you guys there. We think you're not doing the right thing. You're constantly printing money for the sake of printing money. It's all at our costs and ways of our experience coming in. And then on the other hand, it's like, you then policing us to be innovative. So where we want to be innovative, especially entrepreneurs like myself and millions others out there who want to innovate constantly, there's lots of what I call steel walls around it. So innovation is getting slower if too many of these things are happening. So where I see in the future is a lot of this becoming decentralized. So we're already seeing e-government types of scenarios like in Estonia, Switzerland, wherever. And now, in the future, based on that, currencies are already becoming decentralized. You get people doing e-currencies, right? Like the Chinese yuan. Oh my God. So what's happening now is a big fight, SEC doing a major one. So because governments are printing money, citizens have got tired. They're saying it's all at our cost. No one knows who's doing what in terms of managing the finances, the cash flows, the burn rates. So if this was a company, they wouldn't do it like that, okay? Someone is responsible for paying for it. So in the future, just like how we've got decentralized everything, exchanges, people are going to say, why do we need banks? We need banking, okay? And that's what's happening with neobanks, right? Yeah. So most of the central banks, the retail banks as we know it, and I predicted this 10 years ago, 5 years ago, and I keep doing it, that every year there'll be crunching of what you see in the retail banking sector. And what COVID has just done is 50% of them disappeared on the high street. And I say another 10, 20% will keep on happening every 2 years of that. So you'll get very little high street banking as you see it in the past. Well, mobile phone, tap, pay, card, tap, pay, and you're done. That's what 99% of people need. The only reason you go to banks is when you need a mortgage or any special scenario cases. But why can't it be done over the phone? With future technologies coming in, with AR, VR, one-to-one consultancy, you can do this all remotely, right? Unless you're of an older generation and the apps are not user-friendly enough, which is what's happening now, where people are making them more user-friendly. I also see a consolidation of various blockchains and coins. There are way too many, 10,000 or so when I last looked, okay? So way too many. This will consolidate. It's like anything, right? They cannot carry on. So where people don't have some form of a use case and a utility, it's not going to work. Okay, so where you have the dumb meme coins, even those cannot be carrying on forever. Bitcoin will always live, and so will the top 10, 20, but who knows? I see this cycle from the dot-com days where so many of these have disappeared, like the MySpace and the Nokias and the what have you, or they've lost share big time, like the Yahoos of the world, okay? So you don't always have to be the first one in. Well, when you do come in, if you have a good utility, good ecosystem, and a good solid community, they will survive. So that's what's going to happen, and it'll all become ubiquitous, meaning a nice UI for you to manage your life. Actually, that's what we are creating with our human chain.
Oh, nice.
And my tokenized capital. That's what we're doing with my tokenized capital. So me, I want everyone to be their own coin. So even if you're doing like, share, rent, whatever, you get paid. If you look at adverts, you get paid. If you do this, you get paid. So without giving too much away, that's what we're building.
Yeah, you become an asset for yourself.
You absolutely, you be the coin.
Yeah, oh nice.
Every one of us has value, right?
Yes, of course.
So that's the vision. That's where I see the world going.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Most welcome.